Okay, so we've been talking about ionic and covalent compounds. But how are you supposed to look at the compound name or the compound formula and determine whether or not it's ionic or covalent? Well, there's two methods that you can use, and we're going to look at the first method right now, where you use the electronegativity values of the element and determine whether or not it's going to be ionic or covalent. Specifically, is it going to be a polar or nonpolar covalent bond, or is it going to be ionic? You should have picked this sheet up from me in class. And we're going to use this worksheet to help determine our bond types. Our first example is carbon and nitrogen. I want to determine whether or not this is an ionic or a covalent bond. So what you're going to do is find carbon and nitrogen on your periodic tables. And this works out better if you're going to always begin with the element that has the largest electronegativity value. In this case, it would be nitrogen. So it would be 3.0. That's the electronegativity value for nitrogen. And you're going to subtract the smaller electronegativity value from it. Carbon's is 2.5. 3.0 minus 2.5 is equal to 0.5. Now I'm going to cover this number up for a moment. But if you look at your electronegativity difference range, if the electronegativity difference range is 0.5 to 1.7, you are dealing with a polar covalent bond. Since my electronegativity difference range for this particular compound is 0.5, I know that the bond will be polar covalent. Now, if the bond is polar covalent, that just means that your valence electrons are being shared unequally. And this is an image of what a polar covalent bond looks like. Let's try another one. Here we have strontium and bromine. Here goes strontium on the periodic table. Its electronegativity value is 1.0. And bromine's is 2.8. Subtract the smaller value from the larger, so 2.8 minus 1.0 is equal to 1.8. Then you look at your electronegativity difference range, and anytime the electronegativity difference range is greater than 1.7, that means you are dealing with a ionic bond. And when you're dealing with an ionic bond, that means your electrons have been transferred. Let's do one more. Here we have oxygen and oxygen. Well, it is the exact same element, so the electronegativity value would be the same. So 3.5 minus 3.5 is equal to electronegativity difference of 0. When the electronegativity difference is 0.0 to 0.4, you are dealing with a nonpolar covalent bond. A nonpolar covalent bond just means that these electrons are being shared, and they're being shared equally. So that's how you use the electronegativity values to determine your type of bond.